lovely ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? So, I'm Tina Hull, your host for this week. I'm going to let Facebook let you know that I'm here. So, give me a minute or two for the algorithm to kick in and let others know. Let's just see. Okay. Hi, Nicola. How are you? Joe's in the house. How are you? Thanks for joining me, ladies. We're just going to give it a minute or two. Nicola, if you could type hi in the comments, that helps also other people see the video. Sabha, welcome. Hopefully I said that properly. Hi. So where are you all from? What parts of the world are you from? I'm originally from Toronto, and now I live in the Caribbean. Alicia, glad you're able to be here today. Hadn't expected to be. Yeah, I saw your post in the group. Hope everything's okay. Joe's from the UK. Saba's from the UK. Nicola's from Scotland. Ooh, cool. How chilly and cold is Scotland right now? Yikes. I cannot imagine being in the cold anymore. Cannot imagine at all. I'm a little spoiled. So while we're waiting for others to join us, oh no. Oh, oh no. Sorry, Alicia. Family problems continuing and tag I'm at. Shields up. Yep. Keep those shields up and keep taking care of yourself and loving on yourself. It doesn't affect you as much. So, as we're waiting, we're going to actually do a guided meditation up front. So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to put your hands on your heart. And we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then pause for 4. When I say pause, we're just not going to breathe. We're just going to relax. And then we're going to do it again a few times. And what I want you to do is when you're inhaling through your nose, you're going to feel your belly actually expand outwards. So you can put your hand on your belly too if you're not sure if it's being done properly. And then you're going to inhale, feel the belly expand. You're going to hold for 4. You can exhale audibly out your mouth. And set the intention that everything that no longer serves you gets released and let go. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And while you're going to continue doing that, I'm going to get you grounded. So you're going to envision roots coming from your feet and the seat, going down, down, down into Mother Earth, wrapping around a beautiful large crystal of choice. Grounding you, bringing you back into the present moment. And I'm going to get you to Envision your energies outside of you that are part of your to-do list, maybe worries on family and friends or spouses or ex-spouses or children, all of it. Pull it back into your energy. And see the energy coming back into you, into your body, grounding you even more. And then on your next deep breath, you're going to envision this earth energy coming up through your feet, into the ankles, knees, and hips. And from the ankles, or from the hips rather, next inhale goes up past your hara, the belly button, into the solar plexus, and into the heart. And from your heart, it goes up into the throat, third eye. And next deep inhale from the third eye, drawing up this earth energy, going up, up, up to God, Source, the universe, your higher power through the crown. For blessings, and returned is this beautiful white love light energy coming down through the crown, going all along your spine, igniting all the chakras, making them bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter still. And set the intention for how you want to feel after this masterclass. What do you want to release and let go? Feel this white love light energy coursing through your entire body, settling into your heart space, expanding the heart, surrounding the heart. And this white love light energy is surrounding your entire body, expanding into your aura. And feel this love. Now I want you to see a mirror in front of you, and you're going to see your higher self, the version of you that has the answers and the solutions to all your problems, and help you close the gap from where you are and where you want to be. What does she look like? What does she smell like? What clothes is she wearing? How is her hair? Is she wearing makeup or not? How is she standing? Is she confident? Is she secure? Is she solid in who she is? And stepping up to the mirror, you're going to step through the mirror. And you're going to hold hands with your higher self. And you're going to ask her, how do I close the gap from where I am to where I want to be? And if you're not hearing anything, it's not wrong. Everything will unfold as it should. And on the next deep breath, you're going to ask her a question, whatever your question is. And she's going to respond to you. And she is a gift for you. What is that gift? Not everybody sees a gift, so if you don't see one, it's okay. Maybe you just sense it, or you just know what it is. Or maybe you're not sensing anything at all, and that's okay too. And you're going to take a step towards her, onto her feet, giving her a hug. And as you're giving her a hug, she's blending with you. You are her, and she is you. You're getting all the downloads that she has, that she knows, so you can close the gap quicker and faster and know exactly the right steps to make and when. And on the next deep inhale, she's going to walk away. You're going to step outside the mirror, knowing that you have the answers and the solutions to all the issues that you have going on. Take another deep breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Oh, sorry, Saba. I close my eyes when I do the guided meditations, so I didn't see your question. It was your higher self. Do you understand that phrase? So basically, it's the version of you that has everything already. We have different dimensions within the universe, and one of the dimensions, she's got it all. So if you need to go back to this tomorrow or tonight and listen to it again, if that feels better. Okay, good. How you feeling, ladies? So for those that know me, been in my world for a little while, thank you for coming and investing your time and your energy with me. And for those that don't know me, I'm Tina. And I'm the host of this group for this week. I've been in the wellness space for over 30 years. I have two lovely daughters, just turned 23 and turning 21. And as I said, I grew up in Toronto and now live in the Caribbean. I'm a restorative health guide, Akashic record consultant, empowerment activator, and I help people really tap into the truth. So we suffer a lot and we have a lot of pain, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. And I help you dive deep and getting into the root and to heal that so that you don't have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to heal, so that you don't have to spend several months or years to heal, and you can be happy and thrive. And it's my privilege and my honor to be your host for this week. So, just some homework or some basic rules and understanding for how things are going to go. I'm going to come on, I'm going to teach you some information, I'm going to give you some homework for the end of the night. It is totally up to you if you do the homework. I am here to guide you. I am here to give you value and to give you the information that I feel inspired to do so. I channel a lot, so I could go off on a tangent. If you have questions throughout the session, please do not hesitate to ask, because if I can, I will answer it. If I miss it, then Friday we're going to do a Q&A for anything else that comes up. And then I want you to just be aware of any time that I'm talking and you're saying, oh, I know that, and then you start to zone out a little bit. So when you say that, and I was guilty of this for a long time, it's, yes, you are aware of the concept, but you may not know it. You may not be embodying it, because if you were embodying it, you wouldn't be here today. So there's no judgment ever. There's no criticism ever. This is about awareness, about new understandings, about new perspectives. And that's all it is. You can take what I'm sharing with you and you can believe it, you can live it, or you can let it go. I have no personal attachment to any of it. So I know what I know, and it might not be what you think. And that's okay. You might not agree with me, and that's also okay. And if you don't agree with me, then I'd really love it if we could have a conversation over it. So if you want to put a question in the group, you're welcome to do that. Please be kind to each other. Please, if other people make comments in the group, then you're welcome to share your information and what you think, but be kind, okay? Be kind to yourself as well. We're really harsh with ourselves at the best time. If for some reason I say something that triggers you, which may happen throughout this week, my guides can be a little sassy. So it might feel like I'm a little in your face, and they feel the need for it. So if I'm challenging you, then I really want you to step back and ask yourself, what is the reason why I'm triggering you? What am I saying that you're translating and believing as wrong, or how dare I, or whatever the case is. So just be aware that that's a triggering thing. I have a guide, and it's an emotional triggers guide. If any of you ladies or gentlemen would like one, please put in emotional triggers guide and I will get that to you. Make a note of things along the way. I really encourage you to use this opportunity to stay intentional and to pay attention. So what we pay attention to will actually make a big difference, because the focus will shift otherwise. So any aha moments, put in hashtag aha, and then if you watch the replay, which I encourage you to do, because you're going to be a different person hearing it in a different way, and some things that didn't land the first time are going to land the second time or even the third time. So when I do these programs, I often listen at least twice to each thing. If you can't, you can't. That's okay. All good. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay and interact with me as if you were live. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please do that. Put it in the group or put it underneath the actual live. Try to come in with an open mind, an open heart, and be willing to actually stay present in the moment. And again, just enjoy. So this is for you and about you, and I take no offense if you question me, if you don't agree with me, if you think all I'm saying is a bunch of hooey. It's all good. It's my truth, and it's a lot of experience that goes behind it, as well as a lot of knowledge and education and working with coaches and working either free or paid programs, books, all of it. So I really encourage you to listen with an open heart and an open mind. And then if you're not sure, then ask for clarity and I can give you more information. If you desire to work with me, you can private message me and we can get on a call and then we can see what that looks like. Okay? So, healing from the inside out. When I heard this phrase, I had not a clue what it meant. Like, what are you talking about? Heal and from the inside out. Your outside is a reflection of your inside. And that I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, what do you mean? So here's my interpretation and my understanding. Our outside world, our health, our wealth, our relationships, our success in business or at a job, our relationships with our friends, our family, our children, our partners are all a reflection of what's going on in the inside. So if we are not happy in one of the areas of our lives, it's usually because there's subconscious thoughts, stories, and or beliefs in our minds that are telling us that we are not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not deserving, we deserve these behaviors and attitudes, or that it's something, all these things have a frequency and a vibration. And in this universe, there is it's a vibration. We're all energy. My shirt is energy, my body is energy, you are energy, my words are energy, my thoughts and my feelings are energy, my beliefs and my stories are energy. So they all have a frequency and a vibration. And in this world of attraction, what we think, say, believe, create a story about, it will be attracted to us. Does that make sense? So, law of manifestation is your desire, which is where you want to be, your actual belief, and then the action that you take from whatever's stronger, the belief or the desire. And that equals what we attract, or the manifestation. So what usually happens is that belief needs to be shifted because it is what's keeping us in the negative loop. Because usually we're believing that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not deserving, and all the other things. Or it can't happen for me, or woe's me, why is it happening to me? We're getting into victimhood And we're not seeing ourselves as creators, we're seeing ourselves as reactors and responders. So the truth is that we can take control of our lives. We can take control of our minds. We can take control of our emotions, and we can get our health back. That is the truth. There's not a doubt in my mind that that's the truth. So I believe everybody, every one of us, whether it's healing from cancer or from anxiety or an overwhelm or heightened stress or being in a pattern of narcissistic relationships, it does not matter. We can heal it all. So what are some of the beliefs that are coming up for you? What are you saying to yourself? Are you saying that I'll never get better, that I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy? Maybe you're saying it's for everybody else, but not for me. What else would you be saying? That my health, you're identifying with your health as a person with an illness, condition, or disease. What's coming up for you, ladies that are joining me today, and gentlemen that might be on the replay? So we have to heal the inside world. If you find yourself saying it's not going to work for me, it'll happen for others, but not for me, I'm sick or unwell, therefore I just have to live with it, which a lot of doctors will tell us, and it's not true. Change can be hard, or it's going to be difficult, it's going to take me forever. And one of my clients had said to me, Tina, this healing thing is really exhausting. She said, I just start feeling better, and then all of a sudden I plummet down, and I've got to crawl my way back up and claw my way back up. And sometimes I just wonder if it's not worth it just to throw my hands in the air and say, forget all this, let's just live. And live in the struggle and the chaos and everything like that. So, or I don't care enough to put in the work. That can be a big factor as well. So what's coming up for you, ladies? Ooh, Joe, I'm a failure. Yeah, that's a big one. For a couple of people that I've been talking to the last couple days, guilt and shame is a big factor. Especially if you've come out of a narcissistic relationship, they leave you feeling like you should have known. I can't believe that I was duped by them, and that that I stayed for so long. That was a big factor for me. I stayed 22 years, and I asked myself why. I'm a smart woman. I should know better. Didn't I see the signs? Did I ignore the signs? All of the things. Alicia's saying identifying with chronic physical conditions, gluten intolerance, mast cell activation. And Nicola's saying you are worthy, Nicola, or you're not worthy. And Saba, you two for what? The worthiness or identifying with chronic physical conditions? So the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are not our conditions, we're not our diseases, we're not our pain, whatever that looks like, mental, emotional, or physical. It is that you are having a moment, and it is giving you the opportunity to see where you need to heal. So pain is always a signal. I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So we want to understand this. It's not punishment. It's not karma. It's not any of the things that we're telling ourselves. It's not a story that we need to wrap around. So it is a opportunity for us to figure out what we're doing wrong and what got us here in the first place. Learning the lessons, making the changes, and then getting aligned and taking action from that place so that we're manifesting our health and wellness again. Does that make sense? Nicole is saying, I deserve better than I have had. Yes. And Saba's saying, why did I stay that long in a narcissistic relationship? Yeah. Yeah, that was a big one for me. And I have no answer, no solution, no understanding of it all. They are, so some of it is unworthiness and deserving of the chaos. So what can happen is we're born as babies, and as babies we are connected to God's source energy, and we're happy and healthy, generally speaking. Everything's going well, and then someone does something along the way that makes us feel less than, or not good enough, or not worthy, or not deserving. And because we feel that through child filters and baby filters, there's no comprehension or understanding of if we're actually right or not, for sure, and what it even means. So you could come in and you're so excited, you're jumping up and down, and you go, Mom, I had this success in school and blah, 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 and she's distracted by whatever's going on in her head and her world, and she, yeah, go away, or go do your homework, or dismissing you, and you feel rejected. So now you feel rejected by your mother, and then somewhere down the line, someone else does something or says something to you, then reinforces that rejection. And then somewhere else down the line, it happens again. So now that thought of being rejected is being compounded by the extra thoughts and feelings of being rejected, and it gets locked in as a belief. Now, our beliefs are not true unless they're positive. If they're negative, which most of us have negative beliefs more than positive, they are not true. When I realized this, I was like, well, of course my beliefs are true. If I believe them, they must be true. And it's not. None of them are true. So the beauty of this work, of actually doing mindset work, is that we can unravel it. So when we have the mind chatter and the negative talking in our heads, and things are telling us that we're stupid, we're unworthy, we're fat, we're ugly, we're this, we're that. Ask yourself, whose voice are you hearing? Now, if you've been in a narcissistic relationship, it's probably your exes or family members. Hi, RG. No problem. Thanks for coming in. So when that person has said those things, it gets locked in at the cellular level, at the emotional level, because we're feeling really rejected at that point, and we're feeling whatever they're saying. And I know for myself, I was feeling at the end like there were little razor cuts all over my body from all his hurtful words and his hurtful demeanors and his behavior and all of that thing. So it depends on what's going on with you, and you can feel something similar. So those beliefs can be unraveled. So we have two parts of our brain. We have the conscious brain, and we have the subconscious brain. Subconscious brain is everything's automatic. That's why it gets locked in as a belief. It's a habit of thought, because we don't want to think all these things all day, every day, to be able to filter it out. So when you're driving a car and when you're first learning, you're like start, stop, start, start. You're just paying attention to everything. You're white knuckling the steering wheel. You can't listen to anybody or anything. Everybody's got to be quiet, and you're really intense and you're focused. It's because it's not a habit yet, and we're not comfortable with it yet. And then when we get driving, we're like, woo, 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 car, we got the music on, the windows down, people chatting in the back and the side of us, and we forget even how we got home because it's so automatic. So when that happens, 95% of our brain is made up of subconscious thoughts, and only 5% of conscious thoughts. So we want to pull the subconscious, the negative subconscious beliefs, into the conscious so that we can release it and let it go. And replace it with positive and the truth. So when you have a thought, let's say I'm not good enough, there's going to be a mind chatter around that that's going to make you feel like that. So pay attention to the mind chatter. The mind chatter and how you feel is going to give you a pretty good indication that there's something wrong, and there's a subconscious thought that's running the show. So if you get up in the morning, you're feeling awful, then there's a subconscious thought that is behind that feeling. So what is the thought? Maybe something happened the day before, or the night that you went to sleep, or maybe you're waking up and you're replaying something in your head. What is the thought? So once you figure out the thought, whose voice is it? Where is it coming from? And then ask yourself, is it true? Is it really true? No, it's not really true. I am deserving. And so now we want to reframe it. So if I'm not deserving is one of those phrases that you're hearing, or the sense that that's the bigger crux of it all, we want to close the gap in that belief, and sometimes it's too big of a gap. So if you've been told that you're not deserving for years and years and years, you saying that phrase is not going to get you where you want to go, because it's your mind's going to call bullshit on you. And because it calls bullshit on you, then you don't believe it at all, and it's just a waste of time and energy to even repeat it. So we want to put, I'm willing to believe that I am deserving. We want to close it and make it soft. And eventually we'll get that I believe. But the ego mind wants to pull us back into the comfort zone. And the comfort zone is chaos and trauma and struggle and pain. Because we're so used to it throughout our lifetime, especially if you had a traumatic experience as a child, or you had a traumatic experience at any age, but especially as a child. Anything before 7 gets locked in. It's by saying gaslighting destroyed me even. I knew it was, yeah. Yeah, and then what happens is that we gaslight ourselves. We gaslight ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. So we want to be careful again with what we're saying, and paying attention to this really makes a huge difference. So then you can rewrite and reframe that new belief. I am deserving. And if that feels too big, I'm willing to believe that I'm deserving. So let me give you a more concrete example. A lot of people want $1 million, let's say, and I have $0 in my bank account. Well, if you say, oh yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire, your brain for sure is going, bullshit, no way, not a chance, who the hell do you think you are? That's not going to happen. Not going to happen in this lifetime, right? Because you also can't see the how. But if you said, I'm willing to believe that I can be a millionaire, or I'm a millionaire over a lifetime, then that softens things. So as long as your mind doesn't go into the mind chatter, so what your homework's going to be is to pay attention to your mind chatter tonight. Pay attention to what you're telling yourself, what you're telling other people, what you're complaining about, what your stories are, what the beliefs are, and write it down. Journal it out. Pay attention. If you can do that for the whole week, it'll make a huge difference. So, Saba, now it's about belief, right? So the gaslighting is now locked in as a belief. So whatever he or she said to you, you now believe it to be true. And so we want to do what I just suggested. So we want to check it. You want to write it down as what you hear it as. Then you're going to ask yourself, whose voice is it? Is it true? And you know in the heart of hearts it's not true. And then you want to reframe it into something that you can believe. Because remember, we have our desire plus our belief, which we take action from, because that's who we are now, is our belief. Then we're going to manifest from that space. But this belief is usually what keeps us stuck, holds us back, or trips us up, because it's usually in a wobble. So we're kind of believing that we're deserving of good things, but we're kind of not, and what if, and all that kind of stuff, and all the story that we tell ourselves around it is what's keeping us from manifesting what we actually desire. I hope this is making sense. Is it landing? So remember that if you're living a life by design, you are the creator, and we're not living passively. We've got to take an active participation in our lives, and this is one of the ways to do it. Any questions? It is officially 444. Wow, I'm seeing all these angel numbers today. 111, 222, 333, 444. What's going on? It means I'm in alignment, but I wondered what for. So we're meant to be healthy. We're meant to be happy. We're meant to be thriving. We're meant to be emotionally, physically, mentally in wellness. So I want you also to pay attention to the homework. Okay, yeah. So what the homework is, Joe, is you want to pay attention to your mind chatter. So this is the voice in your head, and the difference between mind chatter and intuition or your guides is because the mind chatter is usually negative, It's usually really loud, and it's usually very destructive. So you're a dummy. Why are you doing that, stupid? What are you thinking? Who are you? What do you think? That's not going to happen for you. All these kinds of mind chatters. And then once we do that, we want to go through the process of unraveling the belief, asking yourself, whose voice is it? Is it true? And you know it's not. And then you want to reframe it. And if you're not sure how to reframe it, you can put those beliefs in the group, and then I'll help you with that. Nicole is saying, yes, makes sense. I do believe in the law of attraction. It's hard to see when you don't always see the results quickly. Yeah, totally, Nicola. And so this is where we get tripped up too. We have been maybe suffering for a long time, and we want it now. So we're getting impatient. And that's not how it works. This is all a journey. So we're going to have some ups, and we're going to have some downs, and we're going to have some healings, and then we're going to have a lull. And because there's lessons that we need to learn along the way. So we want to shift our thinking from everything is happening to me, which is victim mentality, to everything is happening for me. So if I see my pain, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, or even spiritual for that matter, if I see my pain and I just look at it and I just rail against it and I hate it and I can't stand it and I can't this and I can't that, then what's going to happen? You're going to attract more things that are going to give you the evidence of that in your life. So how do you shift it? We want to pay attention to what we're thinking, always, as much as we can. You've had a downer day today. Sorry to hear that, Joe. So what's a better feeling thought? So when we wake up in the morning, I started doing this Dolores Cannon. I saw this reel, and she said when you wake up in the morning, just lie in bed and tell yourself what kind of day you've already had. What kind of day do you want to have? And therefore, talk about it as if it's already yours. It's already happened. So I've woken up and I've said to myself, I've had an abundant day. I've had an awesome day. I've had a productive day. And then when we go to bed at night, we want to fill our minds with positive things. So go into gratitude. Because the brain gets rewired at night. And you want the brain to rewire and go into the 5D and discover all the good things to then come to you. And it can be so subtle. There was a point where, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Abraham and Hicks, but so there was this, Esther was talking to this client, and the client couldn't get what she was trying to explain. So she said to the client, if you're thinking about feathers, then feathers will come into your purview. Have you ever noticed this? So if you're thinking about, or you buy a car, or you have a baby, or you have this experience, and because you've got it, all of a sudden you see all the same car, or you see all these women with babies that you probably walked by thousands of times, didn't pay attention, because now you have a baby and now you're paying attention. So this is traction. And so she was talking about feathers, and then her and Jerry had gone down the street because it was so locked into their energy and their vibration now. And then she talked about butterflies, and then she talked about blue stones. and I'm walking down the street on my walk into town, I think, and I'm going through this video and I'm trying to think of, all my kind of signs or whatever. And I walk by and there's a feather on the road. And I probably have walked by so many feathers I didn't even notice and pay attention, because we're not making a conscious effort to actually pay attention to the little signs. So we expect these big dramatic changes in our lives, and that is our evidence. No, it's having better days than we did before. It's having better moments than we did before. Maybe it's laughing for the first time in a long time. Maybe it's a simple thing as feeling peace for the first time in a long time. Maybe feeling loved. Maybe just feeling calm and having nothing to think about. Nothing to worry about. Nothing. Now, those moments, though, can kick up ego. Because ego mind, again, wants the comfort zone, and that's chaos usually, and struggle and stress and strife and all that kind of thing. So be aware that all of a sudden in your purview may come something that's going to give you an opportunity to actually put these things to work. And just get curious. I call it my investigator, my higher mind. There was a time that I was going through something and ego just kept trying to pull me back. And because I've been doing this work for a while and I was so aware of all these things, I just got curious. I wonder why I'm going through this and what I'm thinking and what's the feeling and thought around it. And so I could actually see my whole experience. It was really wild. So I'm seeing my higher mind and my higher self going, let's keep going. You're okay. Everything's okay. You're okay. You're going to be okay. And my ego's going, no, come back, come back, come back. And my higher mind's going, no, 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 you got it. You're good. You're okay. Just stay in the 5D world. Don't look at your reality, because your reality is just an illusion, and everything's going to be okay. And so I just kept going. I kept going. So through that experience, even though it was a pretty emotional experience in a negative way, I got a lot done that week. I think I was even hosting a master class. Very often when I host a master class, I have something not so good happen in my life. And Joe can attest to this. The last time I had one, my ex-narc locked me out of the yard, and then changed the locks on my clinic so I couldn't see my clients for a week, and then changed the lock in the apartment, and we were losing money. So I'm like, okay, why? And these sometimes are up levels. These are showing you that things are changing. So how are you reacting and responding in the moment is going to show you if you've healed, if you still need some healing, or if there's some lessons that you need to learn. Yes, I'm back in the clinic now. That's my space out there, all my degrees. So I leave that with you. I'm going to put a thread in the comment section in the post, and it'll be for your homework. You can journal it out. You can do whatever you want, and you can either say done under the thread, or you can take a picture of what you've written and then post it. Totally up to you. And if it's an ongoing thing, then it doesn't matter. But still, I encourage you to do it all week. And just for tonight, really try to make conscious effort of listening to what you're telling yourself. And catch yourself. Because I've had a lot of clients. I'm really good at this. I can see the little tweaks that need to be done. So I've had clients who have said, oh yeah, everything's going really well, and this person's this, that, and the other thing, and whatever. And then 10 minutes later, like, oh, but this and that, and totally contradicting each other. So we want to get better, and that's okay. We want to see ourselves in that space. But the truth is that this is where we're at, is that grumbly gruss and I can't believe and how come it's still happening to me. So we make ourselves wrong. We make ourselves not good enough and not deserving enough again. So we just, again, it's all about observation and awareness and being the investigator. RG saying, thank you. You're welcome. Working hard to get back to journaling. It's so important. Yeah, and you know what? I don't. I process it in my head, and that's okay too. Whatever works for you. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no anything. Whatever feels good for you. Okay, ladies. So tomorrow is going to be Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. This is a fun one. So realize, take stock of what's going on in your world, and take stock of what you're not what's not going right, and then we want to focus a little bit on that this week, and so we can make a shift and do some transformation around it, so we can heal some of it before it gets really bad. When we're not paying attention and we're not listening to the pain we're going through, it will get worse. Have you ever had those moments where you've had, like, you stub your toe, then you get a cold, then a couple days later you get the flu, a couple weeks later your dog dies, a couple weeks later you got something else, and it's just this accumulation. It's all of this bad stuff. It is manifesting because of what your beliefs, your stories, and your thoughts are. Because they all have a vibration. So we manifest good and bad. We are in control of it all. And if we don't like where we are, we can change it. One last story before I go. There's a coach that I follow. I was in her first mastermind session with 4 other people, and we worked together. When she started her coaching business, which was a year or 2 beforehand, she was broke. She was living out of her car at a Canadian Tire, which is a Canadian hardware store, in the middle of Montreal, in the middle of winter, and in a parking lot. And she had to decide between eating and putting gas in her car sometimes. She was at her bottom, her lowest of lows. And today, she has made and created a company over $75 million in 6 years, 8 years. So it may look dire now, and it can change. She made her first million, I think, 4 years later. 4 or 5. Now she has $1 million months. We are the limits. Our possibilities and imaginations are the limits. The universe has no limit. It's limited possibilities, so we're going to dream it into reality. If you have any questions, please put it in the group or put it in the comments underneath. Have a blessed afternoon, and I'll see you. It's same time all week. Nothing changes unless something comes up for me and I have to rearrange it. So we're all at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. Or, sorry, GMT. Can't get my brain around that because I can't remember its Greenwich Mean Time, something like that. Anyway, GMT time. Have a blessed afternoon, ladies. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. We've got this. You've got this. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a blessed afternoon.